Here we are on M53 in Imlay City, Michigan. This goes all the way up to the tip of the thumb in Caseville. Down here it goes all the way down into the city of Detroit where it turns into Van Dyke. This is the Northeastern Michigan Fairgrounds. I'll figure out what the name is. These are the fairgrounds across the street. And so this is Imlay City, and that's a community building. Katie and Chad might be having brunch there today. This big, huge parcel of land. And look at this busy road. I'm going to have to try to cross it. And hopefully I don't die. Alright, we got to kind of be quiet now because we're sneaking up. Now they grow animals pretty big here in Imlay City. And look at these huge animals. They're kind of a little bit stiff. Look at that. Look at that rooster. Look at that rooster on that trailer. And they're kind of resting right now. So let's try to keep it down a little bit. And look how big that cow is. Look how big that cow is. So this is the Eastern Michigan Fairgrounds. So when they have a state fair, this is the one for Eastern Michigan, and look how big those guys are. Look how big. Isn't that amazing? This is the Countryside Banquet Center, and I just want to take a look at these pretty flowers. They're so pretty. Look at the flowers. Aren't they nice? Didn't they do a nice job here? Look at all the flowers. Look at these. Look at these. Nice job. Nice job. We don't have flowers year-round here, so we have to really enjoy them while they last. So that way is Detroit, Michigan. If you went down there far enough, you've reached the Renaissance Center. And this way is up towards the thumb. I'm going to head up this way, and we're going to take a left. We're going to go into town and explore the quaintness of Imlay City, Michigan. And look at the flowers over here again. This is gorgeous. Now this is not really Detroit. What's ironic is on this sign, oh, it had a thumbs up for Facebook. They call Imlay City the gateway to the thumb. And again, they grow a lot of everything around here. A lot of beans, a lot of wheat. Now the sign says it's 96 degrees. Maybe it is. It's hot out here. But the cucumbers, potato, everything, they grow everything up here. That's further up M53 up here. We're going to take a left and head down this way and kind of get into town and just see some old nice houses, and we'll see the downtown and the library. And they've got a couple little historical buildings. So we're going to leave M53. We are going to head west. And just a regular subdivision street, but then we'll take a right. We'll get in kind of old Imlay City. It's really not. Again, this is just kind of a average subdivision street. I'm going to take a rest in the shade. It's pretty hot, so we'll go 360. Just an average Imlay City, right up against the fairgrounds. And we're heading down to Main Street down here. When we take a right, we'll find some really nice. I really like this house. Nice, well kept, but check out the flowers. Aren't those beautiful? I love Michigan summers and the flowers, and look how pretty that is. I just noticed I'm coming to a dead end, and hopefully I don't get shot cutting through somebody's backyard, but hey, that could make my video exciting. So we'll see what happens. Now we're going to get into kind of the nice old homes. I wasn't attacked by anybody as I crossed through the backyards. Could have been another Travion Martin situation, but I avoided any problems. There's a nice big house, and then next door Nice big house. Not a lot of flowers, not a lot of decoration, but these are good size old homes. And I don't know, these look like 1920, 1930 homes. These are old ones. And these aren't the prettiest in town, but there are a number of gorgeous homes. It's funny, well, they do have a backyard garden, so not a lot of flowers up front. A few decorations, but they've invested in the house, you know, brand new concrete. And that looks nice. And again, there's a garden in the back. So that's a nice house. That's a big house too. Imlay City, Michigan. We're heading towards downtown. We've come this direction. And again, just a quaint street. Look at these old trees, beautiful. And some, you know, kind of overgrown here, the trees, so you can't really see the houses. We'll head down right towards downtown. To the right are a bunch of businesses, and then straight ahead are some nice old homes, the library. Again, we're in Imlay City, Michigan, and I really have forgotten what's here, so maybe around the corner, you know, there might be some surprises. So again, here's another little quaint house. Beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers. And in California, there's a little different flora and fauna. So here you have what I'm used to, typical flowers. But what's kind of neat in California is, again, I don't know all the names of the flowers, but you just, again, visually you can tell that these are just a little different animals. I love the jacaranda trees in California, the purple trees, and they really blossom, and they're really beautiful, but looks like people really like their flowers in Imlay City. Here's a beautiful old house with some flowers in front. It's very nice, very nice. And that's a pretty big house, pretty narrow. That's a pretty big house. Looks like they redid it. And again, nice little garden here. Nice little garden with a variety of flowers. Purple, white, who knows what they are. We'll say azaleas, tulips, we don't know what they are. I don't study flowers. I'm not an agronomist or a gardener, but I do enjoy how they look. Look at the little orange sticking out here. This right here is a fixer-upper. Anybody want to fix one up? Needs a little work. Who knows? It might be nice inside. I better not speak too loud. Maybe the people living in here are here. But there's a fixer-upper, and there's one that's already been fixed up right there. But the railroad tracks is right up here, and who knows what side of the railroad tracks it was better to live on. But here's a little mill building again. A lot of farming here, and I'm sure that's the storage for the train. You see here we got a little train track that crosses us going east and west. We're heading due north. We're heading right towards the Thumb and Lake Huron right up here. Again, this is some kind of a mill and storage unit right along the railroad tracks. This is downtown Imlay City, Michigan. This is about the middle of downtown right here. And M53 is right over there if you see cars in the distance. And right next to the train tracks. Then we start getting in. This is a Imlay City Eagles Hall right here. And we're going to start to get into downtown. You see in the background there are some businesses, and it'll extend further. And again, these have Purina logos on them. Those are probably old. I don't think it's Purina anymore because they're pretty worn down. Here are the train tracks, and again, if we go way down that way, I'm 99% sure that goes to Port Huron, and it would go to the shipping. That's a port. That's the Blue Water Bridge. It's right across from Canada. And the Blue Water Bridge, not a big bridge, but it connects Canada with Michigan. And then that's kind of the downtown city. Nachos is over there. That's the old train station right there, which is now, I think, a historical museum. And you got businesses all up and down the street. And, you know, this is kind of Main Street right here. It's Fairgrounds, and that way is Main Street. We'll look at that. But this way, it's going to go all the way to Flint. So who knows? There might have been a day that'll go right through Lapeer and then I think to Flint. So there might have been a day where they shipped cars all the way from Flint to Port Huron and points beyond. And I'm sure they did farming stuff too. We're getting into classic downtown, and boy, we've got some businesses for lease here, so I bet the rents are nice. Probably get some good deals, and what's funny is this guy just went in the store. He's playing his rap music. This is what I listen into South Central all the time. But if you come to Imlay City, you got to listen to this too. What's wrong with people? Other people don't want to listen to your music. Some of them be in the car, so I better keep quiet. So that's hair salon, and that's a nice. This is a good pizza business right here. I think this is the pizza Katie gets, and so here we're getting into classic downtown, and again we're going to see a lot of flowers. Looks like they like their flowers here in Imlay City, Michigan, and I will always photograph flowers. Come on, how can you lose with flowers? So look at these flowers and a little decoration for July 4th weekend. Came and went again like they always do. You got farmers market here May through October on Thursdays. There's an old clock, isn't that beautiful? Probably a story behind the old clock. And this is right the heart and soul of Imlay City right here. We'll look down, there's all these businesses. We'll look right down through here. And Nachos is right down here. That's the famous Mexican restaurant in Imlay City. So again, we see flowers, and somebody's done a lot of work here, and that's nice. More flowers over here, and more businesses. So the clock says Rotary 2003. And look around the clock, little park benches. And let's see who these were donated by. Little park benches, more flowers. But this is donated in 2005 from the Imlay City Chamber of Commerce. So again, it looks like they've worked on downtown. Just a nice, comfortable place to come and visit. Farmers markets on Thursdays, May through October. And this is not a promotional video, this is an informational. Just kind of showing people, my friends in Los Angeles, kind of quaint Midwestern farm life, farm town. So again, we got little businesses, Joy's Nails, and it looks like they made it, and made it through the recession. I guess the recession's probably still going on. Here's a photographic studio, and beach balls, draw the kids in. Summertime. And they're playing some music here. Who knows what they're doing, but look at all the businesses. There's a market up there, a chiropractor over here, and tanning. There's a credit union right here. So again, here's a Vaquerita, or a grocery store, a Mexican grocery store. There's a shoe mart up here. Here's Amazing Grace Books and Gifts. That's a little Christian store. And this is Imlay City. And we'll get up, there's a nice church up here. We'll get a good photograph. So this is Ruiz's Discoteca. So video CDs, English and Spanish. So you're going to see that a lot of Spanish people have settled here in Imlay City. So we have a lot of Spanish people in LA, but a lot of Spanish people here as well. Here's the shoe store. It's a beautiful little church hidden over here. We'll have to get a better angle. The church over here is hard to photograph because there are trees in front of it, but there's a church here, beautiful little church. And then we got the Imlay City Library. I first came here I think it was after the very first Tiger game at Comerica Park. And it was raining. It was a nasty, ugly day. I drove all the way up here and waited till Katie got home. And that's when I visited Chad and Katie at their house in Imlay City. I think this is a Veterans Memorial, but I really can't read it. I'm sure it is. That's a memorial to people in 3 wars, it looks like. This is the Ruth Hughes Memorial Building, and who knows who Ruth Hughes was, but I'm sure with a few questions we could find out. Nice little library. A lot of stuff for kids, very family-oriented town, as most little towns are. And then we're going to work our way out of town and come in a beautiful home. So we'll see a couple more beautiful homes and then we'll be all done.